I mentioned that it is the mother that is important. Now, this is politically incorrect. In Cambridge, for example, when I say this, they're not happy. They're extremely unhappy. But it is the truth, unfortunately. When I say mother, I want to be clear. Mother is anyone who fulfills the maternal functions. If the physical, biological mother is absent, and it is the father who is fulfilling the maternal functions, then the father is the mother. It could be the grandmother. It could be the grandfather. It could be a neighbor. It could be a foster family. Anyone who fulfills the caregiving maternal functions is a mother. Now, in the vast majority of cases, it is the biological mother. And the biological mother is extremely crucial to proper development, psychological development, to proper growth in the first 36 months. And yes, the father is a lot less important and a lot less relevant until the age of 36 months. Again, this is politically incorrect. You're not supposed to say that, especially in the West. And if you say it, you're a sexist and a racist and a homophobe and I don't know what else, but it happens to be the truth. It is the mother or the maternal figure who determines whether the child emerges from these first 36 months separated and individuated, whether the child emerges mentally healthy, with clear boundaries, with a functioning self, with a core identity. It is the mother that decides this, and only the mother. And so, Winnicott coined the phrase good enough mother to describe a mother who actually fulfills these functions. A mother who allows the child to separate, encourages the child to separate. Heinz Kohut suggested that a mother should actually foster and engender grandiosity in the child so that the child can separate from her and take on the world at age 2 years. So, a mother who is good at being a secure base, a mother who transmits to the child, who broadcasts to the child, a mother who tells the child, in effect, it is safe, it is secure, I'm always here, I will never abandon you. You can go, you can explore the world, you can separate from me, you can play with your peers, you can discover things, you can get hurt, you can experience loss, and I will always be here. You can come back to me, rapprochement. This is known as the rapprochement phase. You can come back to me because I will always be here. I am your secure base. That's a good enough mother. But unfortunately, many mothers are not like that. They are narcissistic, or they are insecure, or they are depressive, or they're overprotective. And they do not allow the child to separate. And when the child tries to separate, attempts to separate, they punish the child. They emotionally blackmail the child. They don't allow the child to go away, to explore the universe. They don't let it happen. No way. They isolate the child. And so these mothers do not allow the child to separate and become an individual, a process that Mahler called separation individuation. It is a failure of separation individuation. And because the child cannot separate and cannot become an individual, is not allowed, this kind of child ends up not having a self. The integration and constellation of the self crucially rely on separation individuation, on saying goodbye to mommy, on realizing that mommy is out there, not in here, on transitioning, traversing the period of symbiosis, the symbiotic bond, the enmeshment, the fusion, the merger between child and mother. The mother is the one who needs to break this bond and allow the child to become an explorer. And a mother who doesn't do this is a mother who stunts the growth of the child, and the child does not develop an ego or a self, and so on. This kind of mother also doesn't provide a gaze. The mother's gaze is extremely crucial, but it's also highly traumatic. You know, all of us would say that being born is very traumatic. When you're born, you transition from a wonderful environment that takes care of all your needs and is warm and is fluid and is, you know, great fun, I remember. So you transition from this kind of environment to an environment that is harsh and cold, with harsh lighting, with sounds that are abrasive, and with physical violence. Anyone who is a medical doctor would tell you, you know, they take the child, they beat it up, and there's physical violence here. So it's a horrible transition and it's very traumatizing. But I think the major trauma in early life is not being born. It's not about being born. It's when you see yourself in the mother's eyes. It's when you perceive yourself, apprehend yourself in the mother's gaze. There is a period where the newborn, the infant, is unable to tell the difference between itself and the mother. The baby is one with the mother. It's one entity. It's a unitary cosmos. It includes the baby, the mother, and everything else. The whole universe is one, a single atom. And baby and mother are one. The baby doesn't say there's me and there's mother. The first time the baby realizes that it is separate, that there is something or someone out there, is when the baby sees itself, perceives itself through the mother's eyes. The mother's gaze informs the baby that I am not you and you are not me. This is a gigantic trauma, enormous trauma. The whole universe breaks apart. There's a schism and a chasm. Everything collapses simultaneously. The merger, the fusion, the symbiotic bond, everything. And the baby suddenly perceives the concepts of separateness, external and internal. Me and the world. Out there and in here. Boundary. It's the first boundary. The mother's gaze creates the first boundary. Now the mother does it not only by gazing at the baby, the mother does it by frustrating the baby. When the mother does not meet the baby's needs, baby is hungry, baby is crying, and mother doesn't feed the baby. Baby is wet or worse and wants to change the diaper, mother doesn't change the diaper. Mother is busy, mother is outside the room, and so on and so forth. The frustrating mother is a good mother. The rejecting mother is the good mother. Because this frustration, this rejection, informs the baby that mother is a separate external object. It is through the frustration that the baby realizes, wait a minute, I'm hungry, but no one is feeding me. No one out there is feeding me. There is in here and out there. This is very crucial. This is the cornerstone of identity. The realization that there is us and there is everybody else. And this is, of course, the conceptual bedrock of object relations theories. Yes? I don't need to tell you. A child who is not allowed to separate develops identity diffusion or identity disturbance, depending on the text. This kind of child is not entirely convinced that it is separate from the world. This kind of child, when it interacts with other people, he tends to assimilate them. He tends to internalize them. He tends to swallow them and digest them. He tends to snapshot them. This kind of child doesn't know the difference between external and internal, so he tries to internalize everyone and everything. He doesn't have the capacity to relate to the outside world as an outside world, and this is known as hyperreflexivity, the major clinical feature of psychotic disorders. The inability to distinguish between internal objects and external objects is a key feature in Cluster B personality disorders.